Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Sekiro Shadows Die Twice complete walkthrough. And this is episode 17, which I have named Isshin the Sword Saint. Because we are gonna take on the final main boss of this game. But before we go to him, we are gonna do some last minute preparations, both for the boss and for New Game Plus. At this point, I would recommend that you have at least 10 skill points. If you're a bit short, just grind these enemies until you get up to that point. Because we are gonna, first of all, we are gonna purchase some spirit emblems, so we spend all our money. So if you die to the boss, you will not suffer any loss there. But then we're gonna unlock two more skills. The first one is Emma's Medicine Aroma, which will max out the effect of the healing gourd and healing. I don't know if it affects other healing items, I think it just affects the healing gourd. But then you'll want to unlock one of the final skills in any of the skill trees. If you have followed this guide, you should be have the option of unlocking either the Ashina Cross or the Shadow Rush was the word I was looking for. Because there is a trophy in this game linked to unlocking all the combat skills. And to get the final skill tree, you need to unlock one of the final skills and go up here and talk to Emma and ask her about Isshin's parting words. Because that will yield you the Mushin Esoteric Text, which is a skill tree you need to unlock to get all the skills for the trophy. There are two combat skills you will get through beating the game, one for beating Shura and one for for taking down Isshin the Sword Saint. They do not count towards that trophy. But now that all those preparations are done, we are heading to the Ashina Reservoir. This is where the game started, and this is where at least the main story will end. There is still one episode left of this walkthrough, where I will show you how to take down the Headless and the Chichimen warriors. But to make that as easy as possible, we are first gonna take down Isshin. So we get his memories. We are even more buffed up before we take down those assholes. But this is just like we did back in episode 1. We shimmy across the bridge, jump down here, and we find the sculptor's idol outside the secret passageway. And since this is the final boss of the game, if there ever was a time where you should equip all your healing items, Fine Snow, Divine Grass, maybe even a bundled Jizo statue, that if you go down in this fight, you can unlock your reviving ability. So make sure to equip all those things. If you run out of Fine Snow, you can go to the Inner Sanctum and talk to the Divine Child and get new Fine Snow. Equip the Ishimonji double combat art before we go in. And also make sure to have one of the umbrellas equipped. It doesn't matter which one, but we are gonna use that in the fight against Isshin. But before we take him on, we are gonna have to sell the score with Genichiro once and for all. Yes, he did not die back in the castle. And we're gonna go over his attack. He has a new attack called the Wind Slash, where you just run in behind him and punish his ass with the Ichimonji double. He has the good old jump leading into his perilous sweep, and we just jump on his head when he does the sweep. He has the thrust, which we can just punish with a Mikiri counter and always follow up with Ichimonji double. And he also has the jump leading into the thrust, which we punish as always with the Mikiri counter and follow up with Ichimonji double. He can also do the perilous sweep without doing the jump. And he also always starts the fight with the wind slash, and I like to immediately move in behind him, punish it with an Ichimonji double, and follow up with another Ichimonji double. And you want to take Genichiro down without preferably no damage at all. If it's not perfect, try to take just one hit, so when you do the death blow you get all of your health back. I don't exactly practice what I preach. I take a bit more damage, but I felt confident in my ability to take down Isshin the Sword Saint. But now he tries to do a sweep, so we end him. And Isshin has quite a few tricks up his sleeve as well. He has an elbow slam, which will lead into a thrust, which you can just punish with Mikiri, and follow it up with an Ichimonji double in phase 1. He has the double sweep, which we can just walk behind and bonk his ass once again with the Ichimonji double. He can walk to the left and then he will do a quick thrust, so you need to be quick to react to that one and punch that with Mikiri. And of course, the Ichimonji double is getting repetitive yet. In phase 2 he gets a spear and he likes to do this big spear thrust. He can weave that in and it's really easy to punish with Mikiri. And he also has a few combat arts. And we are gonna block all of these with the umbrella. The one you really need to watch out for is when he does this, the forward slam. Because there will be one gush of wind and then there is a second one, and I walked straight into that one. I replayed this fight, tried to get him to do it again, but he wasn't having it. And also there's that big sweep. So that was the only footage I could get of the forward slam. But don't repeat my mistake. Just be patient and take or tank both hits of it. And when the fight starts, I like to lure him out into this big open area, or big area, it's not very big, but it is open at least. Because it's easier to see what he's about to do if you don't get distracted by the tall grass. And here I like to take on a bit more of a passive approach. Consider this being a dance and you are the woman. We let him lead this fight and just focus on parrying everything he comes up with. Do it as well as possible, because we want to build up that posture nice and high. I think that is the quickest way to end phase 1. Don't go for a health kill. Instead, just build up the posture. You see, I've only taken a sliver of his health. And that is the end of phase 1. At the beginning of phase 2, he shits out a spear. He actually pulls... I imagine he pulls that spear out of his ass. And he brings along a gun with it. And he becomes a bit more aggressive in this phase. And you see, after I did the Mikiri counter, I followed that up with an Ichimonji double. That is a mistake on my behalf. Do not try to copy that, because you will almost always end up, because he will retaliate with doing a big sweep with his sword. And that will almost always clock you. You saw right there? Because he is so quick to hit back. So if you want to play this a lot safer than I did, instead of doing the Ichimonji double, I think you can maybe do a whirlwind slash. But if you want to play it really safe, just do a regular hit, a regular swing by your sword. Because doing that, being resilient in my usage of the Ichimonji double, you can see I am just eating through all my healing items. And that is a really stupid thing to do, because after this phase there is still one phase left to go. And I think it was a bit of a mistake on From Software's behalf to include Genichiro in this fight. There is a reason for them doing so. There is a cutscene, but I think this fight would actually have been better if you hadn't had to fight Genichiro once again. Because there is a lot of reusage of bosses throughout this entire game. And if you die to this boss, which most people do, you get really fed up with fighting Genichiro. You can see it as a practice run for this boss. As I said before that fight, you'll want to be able to take down Genichiro, preferably without taking any damage at all. But I think it could have been done better. And I don't want to whine too much, because I think this is absolutely one of the best games I've played in years. It's definitely my pick for the game of the year of 2019, because I've had so much fun with this game. It is really hard, it is really punishing. I wouldn't say that it is as hard as a lot of people thought when it first came out. You know, there were articles about Sekiro needing to respect its players and add an easy mode. But I think that since this game is based mainly around one weapon, it's not like Bloodborne or Dark Souls where you have a bunch of different weapons you need to master, or you have the ability to master. Because the fighting mechanics of this game is actually quite simple compared to those games. You have one weapon and it's all focused around mastering that one weapon. But that was the end of phase 2. So we go into phase 3, and I'm gonna switch out my Ichimonji for the Mortal Draw. Because here we are gonna bait that jumping attack, and when he starts doing the jump, you want to turn towards him and dodge forward. So you close the distance and end up just a little bit behind him and do one swing of the Mortal Draw. Do not do both of them, just do one. Or else he will punish you with a retaliating swing. So if you dodge in, like I'm gonna do right here, dodge in, do one swipe, and immediately start running away. That is very important. Or else he will clock you as well. And then we can just rinse and repeat that attack throughout this entire fight. This strategy is also viable to use in the second phase. And you can also treat phase 3 as you did with second phase. The only thing that differentiates the two is that it gets lightning attacks in phase 3. But you can treat, or you can exploit them or punish them just like we did with Genichiro. Stay close to him, and whenever he tries to do one of his lightning attacks, we just run or just dodge forward so the attack goes over your head and punish him from behind. And I did speed this up quite a lot. I think this is 3 times the regular speed. Because even though this strategy is quite safe if you get the timing right, it is not the fastest way to take him on. In real time, I messed up a little bit, so I died, but it's okay because we get to revive. I messed up, or actually, that's not what I was talking about. The fact is, this fight was around 5 minutes in real time, so I did speed it up because you don't want to see me running around just baiting the same attack over and over again. And when you're doing this, keep an eye on his health bar, because when it gets really low, you want to do both swipes of the Mortal Draw like now. Now it's really nice and low, so I know I can kill him. So we go back to real time. We just run around this rock waiting for that last jump. There it comes, we dodge in, and we end Isshin the Sword Saint. And we have now beaten the final boss of this game. Just one thing left to do before this fight is over. He's gonna do some kind of seppuku or harakiri or whatever it's called. And then we get another death blow marker where we execute him once and for all with the mortal blade. And his immortality is now severed. And now you can choose to end this game and go into New Game Plus. You can go over to Kuro, and if you want to do that, you want to go directly into New Game Plus, I recommend back up your save to PlayStation Plus. If you're playing on PC, copy your save directory. On Xbox, there sadly is no way to do it. So then it's even more important to do the things we are gonna do now. Because I'm just gonna walk over to Kuro and show you that since we have done all the side quests, we have 3 different options here. One is for Dragon's Homecoming, one is for Purification, and one is for Immortal Severance. But if you want to take on the Headless and the Chichiman warriors, we're gonna head out of this area and take them down before we go back and talk to Kuro. Because we need some things that at least some of them drop, or one of the Chichiman warriors drops a Malcontent's ring that we're gonna use to upgrade the finger whistle. But that is the end of this episode, and I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.